Hello and welcome to Healthy Mind, Healthy Life with your host Avik. This podcast is all about exploring the latest research, sharing personal stories, and providing personal tips for improving our mental health and well-being. Each episode will be joined by experts in the field of mental health, as well as individuals who have experienced the transformative power of a healthy mind firsthand. Together, we will dive into a range of topics from managing stress and anxiety to building resilience and cultivating happiness. So, join us on this journey to discover new ways to take care of our minds, bodies, and souls. And let's work together to create a healthier, happier world one episode at a time. So, let's get started. Hello and welcome to another episode of Healthy Mind, Healthy Life, the podcast where we delve into the many aspects of mental wellness and the personal growth. I'm your host Avik, and today we have an incredible guest, Ramona Galey. So welcome to the show, Ramona.
Thank you so much, Avik. I'm so glad to be here. I'm really looking forward to our chat.
Lovely, great. So Ramona, before we start our conversation today, I would love to quickly mention this to all of our listeners that Ramona is a vibrational mentor, spiritual success coach, and author who specializes in helping spiritual overthinkers find their purpose and reclaim their brilliance. So she is the founder of Heart Set Academy and the Alignment Circle Mastermind, where she empowers individuals to overcome limiting beliefs and leverage their personal assets into the success. So today we will be discussing the profound impact of authenticity on both the personal and the professional growth, and also at the same time how embracing our true selves can help us release the limiting beliefs, overcome the procrastination, and at the same time thrive in various aspects of the life. So with
Yes.
this, welcome to the show again, Ramona.
Thank you so much, Avik.
Lovely, great. So Ramona, I'd like to start with, if you can share with us a bit about your journey and how you became a vibrational mentor and the spiritual success coach.
Well, it all started probably about 10 years ago when my partner passed away. She had been diagnosed with pancreatic cancer,
Mhm.
and that was a very tough 8-10 months that we spent dealing with that. And she died in my arms. And my problem at that time is I had no spiritual beliefs. I didn't have any belief system, any spiritual beliefs. I didn't say that there was no God, but I didn't know how there was any God. And I had tried to find some spiritual support over the years. I had tried really hard to be a Christian. I had checked out Buddha, the meditation and the friends meetings and Judaism and lots of different things, and I had not succeeded in finding a spiritual belief. And so with my partner dead, we were together 24 years and she was my whole life. And so I really believed that my life was over, to tell you the truth. And I was ready to make that be an actual reality, not through any big, huge turmoil or anything, but just through this kind of deadened, what's the use kind of a thing.
Mm.
And fate intervened, God, source, all there is, whatever you want to call it. Somebody up there was looking out for me and intervened with a phone call that just changed the entire trajectory of my life. And I started listening to Abraham Hicks, which I had never heard of before. And I started listening, and it just really resonated. And the more I listened, the more it made sense. And the more I started to understand that I was here for a much greater purpose, and that we all are, and that really all I needed to do was learn some pretty basic, simple things. They seemed at first, and they are simple to understand. But as I started to apply them and started to actually really study very, very intensely, 8, 10, 12 hours a day for a couple of years, and then eventually I started to teach it, But I did not believe that I would actually be following in Abraham Hicks' footsteps until about 5 years ago, when suddenly it came to me. It's hard to describe. It was a knowing that came to me. And ever since then, I have been receiving my infinite intelligence, my inner being known as Oprah. I receive them on behalf of others. So clients come and speak to me and ask questions. And I go into a light trance and I answer questions in a way that I could never know. In other words, source, or whatever you want to call it, speaks through me. And so that's how I became a vibrational mentor. And that's a name that I made up, by the way, in case you're wondering, what's a vibrational mentor? It's a title I made up. I believe that once we get back to everything vibrational as opposed to conditional, then it's easy. And I mentor people rather than teach. Because I role model and I give feedback specific to the question, and that's more of a mentor role than a teacher or coaching role. So that's hence the title, vibrational mentor.
Wow, that's really lovely. And what does authenticity mean to you? I mean, why is it crucial for the personal growth?
Oh, what a great question. Okay, so authenticity is not to be confused with honesty. That's the first thing. Some people think I mean honesty, and I don't mean honesty. I mean, like when I had no spiritual belief system or support system, I was extremely honest, but I couldn't be authentic. I couldn't tolerate people seeing me. I thought there was something wrong with me. I was ashamed of me. I was embarrassed by me. And so I had trouble being seen. And so to me, that's kind of the bottom line of authenticity, being seen, being able to be ourselves, to feel our connection to source, to feel love. In order to truly feel love, we really have to be authentic. And it's really the path to releasing any kind of overthinking or procrastinating or self-sabotaging, all of that stuff. Authenticity is the very basis of all of that. And it's really our love of self, which we get from source. We don't have to make it up. We just have to let it in, and then there it is. And then we can start to really truly live an authentic life.
Exactly, yeah. So, how can embracing the authenticity help individuals release the limiting beliefs and overcome the procrastination?
I'm sorry, you cut out just a little bit. Could you repeat the question?
Okay. So I'm just saying, like, what according to you, I mean, how can embracing the authenticity help the individuals release the limiting beliefs and overcome the procrastination?
Yes. So overthinking and limiting beliefs, these are all things that are outside ourselves. They are not really us. They've been given to us by others, fearful parents, overly strict teachers in school, the media. We get all of these limiting beliefs from outside ourselves because within ourselves, we are limitless. We would have no limiting belief if we were just true to ourselves. And so all of that jokingly, I call the peanut gallery. And when they have an opinion, they want to push it on us, or if they have a rule, they want to control us with it. And in our authenticity, we can start to disregard all of that. We can release any limiting beliefs that we've learned in the past as being very clearly identified as not me. Like I can release it when I can see clearly that's not really me. That's not about me. That was about them or something else. I don't even need to know what it was about. I just know it's not about me. And I need to be very authentic in myself before I have the courage, before I have the skill, before I have the knowing to be able to let go of somebody else's belief on my behalf and to start know my own value and my own belief system, which is limitless.
Understood. And in your experience, what are some of the common limiting beliefs that people struggle with? How can they start to overcome them?
So one of the most common ones I hear all the time is, what's wrong with me? Maybe I've been meditating for a while, or I've been attending church, or whatever my chosen spiritual expansion route is, and I've been doing what I've been instructed to do, or I've been following my guidance, and things still keep going wrong, or I still have this circular thought, this really a painful thought that comes over and over and over again. And so the question that I hear the most often from everybody in one way or the other is, what's wrong with me? And that is a limiting belief. And when we can let go of that one, everything changes. And the easiest way to let go of that one is to come back to right here, right now. And this may sound non-intuitive, so let me just say what I mean. If I notice I'm having this thought that somehow means what's wrong with me, like why did I do that, or how come I'm still procrastinating, the bottom line question behind all of that is, what's wrong with me? Why am I doing it this way? I know better. And when I notice myself having that thought, I can take a nice deep breath and come right back into my body. In my body, there is no limiting belief. In the breath, in the heart, there is no limiting belief. There's nothing wrong with me. I am perfect. I can feel the love of Source pulsing through me in this very perfect way. And I don't mean perfect like I'm better than somebody else. I mean perfect as in divine, the way I am in my all that isness. In other words, the non-physical part of me and the physical part of me in our alignment, we are right here, right now. We're right where we're supposed to be. And in that way, we are always perfect. You're perfect. I'm perfect. We're all perfect. And so when we can just come back into the body, come back into the breath, and I teach this all day long, there's a million ways to do it. But if you just take a nice deep breath, maybe a couple, if it's your first time really experimenting with breathing, and just feel the calmness that settles within you, that allows you to release that limiting, foreign, untrue belief, what's wrong with me, that there's something wrong with me.
Understood. So, okay. Now, if we talk about any example or the story of a client who transformed their life by embracing the authentic self, if you can share.
Yes, absolutely. I'm brought to mind of a particular client who came with a whole set of issues that she wanted to address, problems in her marriage, wanting to have another child, having some problems with some other family members, really not liking her job at all, and feeling a sense that she wanted to do something with more purpose, but really not knowing how to go about doing that. And over the course of time, as we started as she started releasing various limiting beliefs, like kind of, I'm going to say superficial limiting beliefs, like I can't do any other kind of work, no other work will pay well enough, those kinds of, I call those more superficial limiting beliefs. And as we started letting all of those things go, we had been working together for several months, and it finally came out that she had had issues with anorexia and bulimia. When she was a teenager, she had actually been institutionalized, and the underlying what's wrong with me belief was really focused in her body. Like, there's something really wrong with my body. And this was a very old, strong momentum for her. And once that came out, and it was very easy to start to let that go. Once we had gotten to, I'm going to call it the root cause, the underlying thing that was going on, all of the other superficial things started to change too. Everything got together. She is now a very successful, beloved coach in the mindset and heart set arena, specific to some of the experiences that she's had in life, and very happy, very successful. And that it's just all came down to what's wrong with me. In her case, what's wrong with my body, and therefore what's wrong with me. It was very deeply set, but once exposed, I'm not going to say exposed, once relieved, then everything just got so much better so quickly.
Understood. So, what advice would you give to someone who feels stuck in their career or the personal life, and maybe is struggling to find their true purpose?
Yeah. So the best way to start, and I teach just three very simple things. One rule: do whatever it takes to feel good. And this is so counterintuitive and revolutionary feeling for so many people that this is very important. It sounds simple, but it's very important. Do whatever it takes to feel good. So that's only one rule, and there's a lot of reasons why people have trouble committing to that rule. Is it ethical? Can I be trusted? What about everybody else? There's a lot of reasons why somebody might resist that. But if you can accept that one rule and really commit to it, then you can start to develop one skill, which is to learn to discern what actually feels good. Learn to discern what actually feels good. It's not the donut. It's not the McDonald's hamburger. It's not the gambling or the shopping or the drugs or the alcohol. It is totally different from that. And once you learn that one skill, it's very simple. It takes some practice. For most of it, it takes some training, but it's very simple. It's really easy to remember. Learn to discern inside. My intuition, my guidance, my inner being will help me discern what actually feels good in my body. And then I've only got one habit to really practice, probably for the rest of your life. I'm practicing it for the rest of my life, and that is to allow things to unfold naturally. And if you can take just those three things, one rule, one skill, one habit, and just really focus on those just for even a couple of days, you will start to feel so much better. And things will start to get into alignment in your life that you never dreamed were possible. And then there's a lot more that you can refine all of those habits and skills and rules. But just start right there. Very simple. One rule, one skill, one habit.
Understood. So, what can be how can being authentic improve one's ability to connect with an audience? Whether in front of camera or social media or maybe during the public speaking. What do you say?
Yeah. Well, it's everything, isn't it? Because you can really feel the audience, whoever is listening or watching, we can really feel when someone is being, and again, I want to make sure I'm clear. I'm not talking about honesty. Somebody can be absolutely factually honest and even high integrity honest and still not feel comfortable in their own skin. And you can feel it when somebody feels so authentic, when you can tell they love themselves, when you can tell they love others, when they're open, when they're soft in their heart. You can feel that. That's authenticity. That can be learned. It can be acquired, and actually relatively simply and quickly and easily and amazingly for someone like me who lived kind of hiding for like 56, 57 years before I actually started to feel comfortable being seen. And there's that being seen again. How can you be on camera and really be comfortable if you're not comfortable with who you are? How can you get up and make a speech in front of hundreds or thousands or hundreds of thousands of people authentically if you really don't feel good about who you are? If there's some question in your mind, what might be wrong with me? What might they discover about me? What will they see when they look at me? You have to answer that question. Once you answer that question, you can go into a sales meeting and be absolutely yourself and genuine and kind and not resort to the types of things that sometimes we hear about salespeople. You can stand up and make a public speech. You can become president of the company. You can be a mother so authentically with your children, so much differently than otherwise. You can see them for who they are and accept them for who they are and support them for being who they are. You can make a better spouse, a better partner in your personal relationship. Everything improves dramatically when you start focusing on your own authenticity.
Correct. Perfect. So, what are some of the practical steps that people can take to start living more authentically in their daily lives? What do you suggest?
Well, anytime you notice yourself saying the word should, just stop. Stop and reassess what it is you're saying. I should do that. He should have done that. Anytime you find yourself saying the word should, you're making a judgment either about yourself or about someone else or both. And releasing judgment is one of the keys to authenticity. Appreciation and release of judgment are kind of the two major components of authenticity getting started to really start to feed that thing and start to have it grow within you, this sense of authenticity. It gives you the strength and the courage and the knowledge to be able to say, I understand that you think I should do that, but I feel led in a different direction. To be able to just stand there and say that to someone who's saying, well, you should be doing this, and why aren't you doing that? And you need to do this. Actually, I'm just going to follow my own guidance. And I'm going to do what I want, what feels good, rather than what you think I should or what I think I should. So there's the key right there, the word should.
Understood. Also, like, how has your own journey of embracing the authenticity impacted your life and career?
Oh, 100, I mean, 1,000,000%, 180-degree turn. I don't know how to say it any bigger. Like, it's complete. It's like night and day. There we go. There's the standard metaphor, night and day. I left night and I walked into the daylight, and the dark fell away, and the light, the warmth of the sun, the light of love. I teach now a lot that the entire universe is only made up of love. There is only one thing, it's love. And when we don't feel loved or loving, it's because we're pinching it off, not because it disappeared, only our perception of it. And so I would have never spoken like that 10 years ago or before that. Never. I didn't understand it. I didn't know it. Even if I did know it, I wouldn't have spoken it. I would have been afraid of what people would think of me. I would have been afraid of being hurt. I would have been afraid. That's probably the biggest thing. The opposite of love is fear. It's not hate, it's fear. And so I moved from the darkness of fear to the lightness of love.
Lovely. That's really great. Great. So thank you so much for joining us today, Ramona. Your insights into authenticity and the personal growth have definitely been truly enlightening, I would say. And also for the listeners, I would love to mention, like, the listeners, if you want to learn more about Ramona and her work, be sure to check out her Heartset Academy and the Alignment Circle Mastermind. And always remember that embracing your authentic self is a powerful step towards overcoming the limiting beliefs and achieving both the personal and the professional success. So, stay tuned for more inspiring episodes of Healthy Mind and Healthy Life. And until next time, take care of your mind and live your best life. So, thank you so much.
Thank you, Avik.